Today we will talk about the story of the movie Tonnerai no Totoro from beginning to end. So relax and enjoy watching the video. During the 1950s in Japan, a university professor named Tatsuo Kusakabe and his two daughters, Satsuki, age 10, and Mei, age 4, decided to move into an old house close to the hospital where their mother, Yasuko, was receiving treatment for a chronic illness. The house they moved into was located in the countryside, and though beautiful, it was in a state of disrepair and appeared to be haunted. While the girls were playing in the garden, Satsuki and her sister Mei saw a very large and amazing camphor tree. Upon entering the house, the oak began to fall from the top to the ground. When they told their father, he said that there must be a squirrel in the house, which made the girls happy, but the possibility that there were mice was a little sad. The father asked his two daughters to look for the back door of the house and open it when they reached the door, and opened it. The surprise was something strange, full of black in the house. The girls told their father about it, so he checked the bathroom but found nothing, and then told them it's soot balls and they don't show up in the daytime but only in the dark. The girls started screaming and calling for the soot balls to come out in a nice way, and they had already come out unnoticed. The father asked them to look for the second floor ladder and open the windows, and when they found it, the surprise was that the second floor was also filled with soot balls. As Mei observed the hiding spot of the soot balls, Satsuki opened a window and alerted their father about a presence in the house. However, Mei, still fixated on the hiding spot, took it upon herself to investigate further. She probed the exact hole where the soot balls vanished, causing them to scurry away to the roof of the house. As the soot balls scurried to the roof to hide, one of them lost its balance and tumbled towards Mei. Quick on her feet, she managed to catch it before it hit the ground. Mei rushed downstairs to tell her sister and bumped into an elderly woman known as Grandma. Mei recounted how she had managed to capture one of the mischievous soot balls that had left black stains on her hands, feet, and the floor of the house. Grandma said that they are called star torts, and she told them she had seen them when she was a little girl, and that the soot balls get annoyed by motion. Mei and her sister went to the river to get water to clean the house with the help of Grandma. Then one of the neighbor's children, named Kanta, came and brought some food for Grandma, but he was too scared to enter the house. Before running away, Kanta told Satsuki that their house was haunted. While the father and his daughters were bathing at night, the girls thought that the crumbling house would fall as the wind blew strongly outside. The dad told them that laughing makes soot balls scared, so everyone laughed loudly until the soot balls ran away because of the noise. In the morning of the first day, the girls went with their father to visit their mother in the hospital, and Satsuki told her mother that the house was haunted, and they chatted while the mother was doing Satsuki's hair. After the visit was over, Satsuki prepared food for her sister and father the next morning, and then left for school in a hurry with her new classmate. As Mei wandered around the house, she gathered flowers, frolicked with water, and picked up acorns scattered on the ground. However, during her exploration, an unusual creature crossed her path. Intrigued, she chased after it, but the creature quickly became aware of her presence and vanished, only to reappear and continue fleeing from her. Eventually, it slipped under the house, but Mei soon spotted another creature nearby. As Mei pursued the two creatures into the forest, she noticed that they were carrying a bag of acorns. However, their attempts to sneak away were foiled by the acorns falling from the bag. Upon hearing the sound, Mei spotted the duo running off together. She quickly gave chase, following them into a hidden passage within the forest. The pursuit continued until the creatures darted into a tree hole, disappearing from sight. As Mei stood by the tree hole, she noticed that one of the acorns dropped by the creatures had fallen onto the ground. While staring at the acorn, Mei accidentally tumbled into the hole and landed on top of a massive creature known as Totoro. As Totoro slumbered, Mei couldn't resist the urge to stare at him. However, her curiosity got the best of her, and she began to tickle Totoro's nose, disturbing his peaceful slumber. While Totoro slept, Mei whispered to him, "Are you Totoro?" Despite Mei's attempts to awaken Totoro, he remained in a deep sleep. Eventually, Mei grew tired and decided to rest on Totoro's chest, where she soon fell asleep. Meanwhile, Satsuki had returned home from school and, with the help of their father, began to search for Mei. After scouring the forest, Satsuki finally discovered her younger sister fast asleep on the ground. Upon waking up, Mei eagerly searched for Totoro and excitedly told her sister and father about her encounter with the gigantic creature. Determined to show them where she had found Totoro, Mei led her family to the secret passage, but surprisingly, it led them to the door of their house. Moreover, the tree that Mei had fallen into and discovered Totoro had vanished from its original location. Despite the disappearance of the tree and the secret passage, the father still took his two daughters to the forest in search of Totoro. However, Totoro was nowhere to be found, as he only appeared sporadically. During their exploration, Mei stumbled upon the same tree she had fallen into before, but to her dismay, the hole was now closed. The following day, the sisters eagerly went to the bus station to welcome their father back from work, but he was delayed. The night began to grow darker, and as Mei felt sleepy, Satsuki carried her younger sister on her back. Suddenly, Satsuki heard the sound of footsteps approaching. Suddenly, Totoro appeared beside her at the bus stop, leaving her stunned. As Totoro stood in the rain, Satsuki kindly offered him her father's umbrella, which he had brought with her. However, the sound of raindrops falling on the umbrella began to agitate Totoro, making him restless. The rustling of the leaves and the pitter-patter of the droplets on the umbrella drove him crazy. After some time, a bus appeared in the distance, and Satsuki initially believed that it was her father's bus. However, to her amazement, the bus turned out to be a peculiar cat-like creature that came to pick up Totoro. The creature was shaped like a bus, and Totoro boarded it, taking Satsuki's father's umbrella with him. It was not long before the bus carrying their father arrived. His two daughters told him about what they had seen with overwhelming happiness. But their happiness is still incomplete while their mother is in hospital. So Satsuki wrote a letter to their mother to tell her what happened to them during their days in their new home. Not much time passed until Satsuki received a letter sent to her father from the town hospital, informing him that their mother's discharge from the hospital would be postponed due to a health setback she had suffered. Satsuki was so scared for her mother that she rushed to call her father at his workplace to tell him that something had happened to her mother. After a nerve-wracking wait, Grandma informed Satsuki that her father had called from the hospital, revealing that their mother had caught a cold and would return home the following Sunday. However, Satsuki was skeptical, as they had been given similar news before, and she feared that her mother's condition might worsen. Overwhelmed with emotion, Satsuki began to cry. Mei saw and heard her older sister crying, so she ran to the hospital, which is far away from their home. In a state of panic, Satsuki realized that her younger sister Mei was missing and immediately alerted their grandmother. The village people and locals quickly rallied together to help search for Mei, combing through the surrounding area in a frantic effort to find her. During their search around the river, the group stumbled upon a child's sandal, which they believed to be Mei's. Fearing the worst, they presumed that Mei had drowned in the river. However, when Satsuki arrived at the scene, she quickly realized that the sandal did not belong to her sister, sparking a glimmer of hope that Mei might still be alive. Desperate to find her sister, Satsuki turned to Totoro for help and explained that she believed Mei had set out to visit their mother at the hospital. Upon hearing that Mei was lost, Totoro called upon the cat bus to come to their aid. Satsuki hopped on the cat bus, which quickly began its search for Mei. In no time at all, the cat bus located Mei sitting alone on the side of the road. After the two sisters met, the cat bus decided to take them to their mother in the hospital to see her, as their father was there. Upon arriving at the hospital, Satsuki and Mei sat down on a nearby tree trunk, looking through the window to watch their mother talking with their father. They wanted to ensure that their mother was safe and that she had recovered well from her cold, knowing that she would have to stay in the hospital for a bit longer to recuperate. Mei put the acorn that she had been carrying all the way to her mother on the window without her mother noticing and wrote a note on it. To Mom. Overjoyed to find their mother in good health, the sisters returned home to their grandmother, who had been worried sick about them. After checking in with their grandmother, the girls bid farewell to the cat bus, while Totoro watched them from the top of a towering oak tree. And finally, these are real photos of their home at the expo. We hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.